welcome to India Today. This is Anita Brito in conversation with the one and only Sanjana. So happy to have you, Sanjana.
So happy to be here. I wish I was meeting you in person.
I know.
But at least you met Adi and Kapur. So
Yes.
That's good.
And they had lot of good things to talk about you. So we are going to begin by talking about that. You actually blew our mind off when we saw you doing those actions. Those few action scenes that we saw in the trailer is like mind blowing. So do tell me the process firstly for that. How difficult was it? What kind of injuries you went through? Everything. I need to know in detail.
That's so sweet. I'm glad that those little cuts that they put in the trailer, you felt that and could see what's to come in the film. But I mean, Anita, I couldn't ever have thought that I would do. Forget so soon in my career, I didn't think that I would ever be capable of doing an action film, full stop. So
Okay.
for me, I mean, I've always been a dancer since I've been a little girl, and I've been athletic. So I've always been someone who's been very physically active. But for Ahmed sir and Kapil to, after Dil Bechara, be able to see me as Kavya and have that level of faith, just blind faith. I remember when Ahmed sir narrated the story to me, and I was like, okay, sir, but what do you want me to do? He's like, I want you to be our leading girl. And I asked him, I said, but at least let me audition for you. At least see if I can kick or punch. He's like, no, I know you can. I've seen what I had to in Dil Bechara. I've seen your skill and I've seen your honesty, and that's all we need. And when you have that kind of faith from the makers, it's just a blast. So I put in every ounce of blood and sweat that I had to do my best and train as much as I could. And it's so much fun, as a girl, you feel so empowered. You're like, you don't need anyone to take care of you.
Correct.
So there was weapon training, mixed martial arts. I mean, Adi must have told you about like this little Om boot camp that we had,
No,
where
he didn't.
from morning to night. Oh, he didn't?
No, he didn't. Please tell me.
So basically, he and I used to joke about it, saying that this is the Om boot camp. It was the peak of the pandemic. The world was shut. And that's when we made this film under very challenging circumstances also, at the peak of COVID. So he and I used to have like a regimen from the morning to the evening, 2 hours of general fitness, mixed martial arts, weapon hand pumps. It's not just about being fit. It's not just about knowing how to use a gun. It's about all of that coming together. So that needs time and it needs work. तो वो किया, पर मजा बहुत आया उसे करने में.
Was it an instant yes for you, knowing the fact that this is something new that you're trying, or was there a hesitation as such before signing up the film? No?
Zero hesitation. I've heard actors their whole life, say that this X script chose us and we didn't choose it, etc., etc. And at least up till now, in my small little filmography, I mean, I'm just starting off. But everything from when I was a little girl in Rockstar to Dil Bechara to Om, these are all things that have chosen me. I have just kept myself open to, these possibilities and then given it my best. But even there was no second thought with Om. No second thought. Obviously, there's fear and nervousness and will I be able to do it or not? But that's just the nerd in me who's always unsure about herself. That's different. But never a doubt.
But during the shoot, were there any moments when you felt like, no, ये नहीं हो पाएगा मुझसे? ऐसा कभी कुछ आता? Because this is something new that you're also trying. Like even when we try something new, we always feel कि यार after a point we feel कि नहीं हो पाएगा. वो ऐसा कोई scenario आया आपके life में आपके time while you were shooting?
So, I keep telling Kapil and Adi this, that so oddly we started our shoot with Kavya's action sequences. And I had thrown a fit when Ahmed sir and all told me that casually, they used to tell me these things one day before so that I don't freak out. They were like, oh, by the way, we're starting with your sequence for the next 3 days. And I was like, what do you mean? I am not ready for this. I want to see Adi do action for like at least 6-7 days, understand how a action set works, and then I'll do it. So I was scared beyond words for those 3 days, but I remember how well day one went and how our action master Parvez Bhai and Ahmed sir and Adi had just come on set that day also just to be there. And I remember those, when the crew claps when you finish a day and when the whole crew kind of just claps for you and cheers you on. That day took all of my nervousness away. And I understood that it's going to be challenging, but it's within what is possible.
Correct.
So,
any tips from Adi that you received?
Too many, but now I don't want to make him feel important.
Okay. But he was very sweet enough to talk a lot about you.
But
he kept saying she is a surprise element in the film. I was like, okay, we can see that, and we are waiting to see more of that. So yeah.
No, I mean, I say this. There are no two ways about. I couldn't have done without Om being Adi, and I have never experienced this level of when like there's a saying that someone will be there to catch you when you fall.
Yes.
This was literal and metaphorical. I mean, every single day of this journey, I knew that if on set or otherwise, there is nothing that I can't. Even before I could ask, he would know what I'm feeling nervous about or what I'm feeling scared about, and use he had done a little bit of action in Malang. He's been around far longer than me. So there are things beyond just the action piece that a true friend will always share with you. So help in all sorts of ways, more than I can put into words.
I remember one conversation that you and I had, and you very clearly mentioned that the fans of Adi will be very, very impressed when they see the film and they see the trailer. I don't know, you remember that conversation or no? And indeed, that is true, because people are going gaga about Adi's physique that he's built, each and everything that he's done in the trailer. What was your first reaction when you saw him in that physique? Shirtless, in that physique, doing hardcore action.
I think that was, I remember when, I don't know if I told you this, but I was like in the 10th or the 11th grade when Ashiki had released.
Yeah.
And when in one single wave, every girl had a crush on Adi. And this was like 2.0 of that, because, I mean, I had seen him transform into Om, right? I was with him through that journey. We would be meeting every single day and working on our characters in the script. But when that climax sequence happened, I genuinely, there was dumbfounded is the only word for, I think, all of us on set. I was just like, I don't want to act for like the next 3 takes. I just want to see the monitor. So it was that.
Sanjana, it's your 3 film old, including Home, if I catch. But the choices of the selection of films that you choose are very wise. For a person who's just done 2 films, it's very surprising to see. How does that courage come from? Where does that courage come from, firstly? And who helps you and anyone guides you in selecting the films? Plus, also the films that we'll do in the upcoming months and coming year are also great. So, who is that one person who guides you, or how do you select your films?
So, I think it's 2 things. One is I didn't grow up wanting to become a Bollywood actor or star. I grew up in love with the performing arts and with studying. These are my 2 big loves. And all my energy just used to go into how can I do these things to my best. And I think that because that's my foundation, when a script comes to me or when I hear about a particular story being made, I respond to it purely from an artistic core, or at least as much as I can. Because obviously, as you grow and evolve as an actor and public figure, you start understanding so many more things that you didn't when you were younger. And I work very hard to not let that affect me or affect my choices. Because, like, like I told you, I said yes to Ahmed. So on that same phone call, or Dhak Dhak, when Tapsi emailed me the script, I read it that night, and the next morning I called her saying, I'm on. I didn't ask her who else is doing it, when are we making it, zero questions. I was like, I'm doing it. Um, and I've always been, as much as I hate to accept it, I have been a very kind of strong-headed girl, even growing up. Even my parents, people, my best friends couldn't tell me what to do. But they'll always, what they say in terms of what I should take care of, how I should, measure myself, because I have a tendency to overwork. So there are obviously like 6, 7 people in my life whose advice means the world to me. Imtiaz since the start, and now, I mean, I'm not taking any decision now without Kapil or Adi knowing about it or me getting their take on it. So their opinion means a lot, but ultimately, मैं अपने दिल की सुनती हूँ. So it is that, yeah.
Sanjana, in the last few years, we have seen. I just want your take. We have seen roles written for women are very. Well, it's improved. It's great. Like good stories, good roles, good characters are written for women. What's your take on this change that we have seen in the industry?
It is phenomenal. It is, I said this at our trailer launch also. I really owe it. Actually, my whole us generation of younger female actors, we really owe it to Vidya Balan, to Tapsi, to Deepika for fighting the tough fights and for taking our writing up to a place where women are now full people. Women are full people, female stars are as bankable. I mean, Dhak Dhak, we have no hero, and it's a big scaled film. We're doing everything the way we want to do it. We're not making a small indie film, and that's new age Hindi cinema. It has 4 women are working together. Studios are backing it. We're on real locations, and if you'd have asked me 4 years ago that would this be possible in 2022, I'd probably have said no. I'd have probably said we're at least a decade away. But it's real and it's happening. And it's our responsibility as young actors to do justice to these opportunities, and to make sure that we keep pushing the envelope. Like, I hope that after Om, action parts are written more for girls, hopefully. Because Kapil has made sure that Kavya is integral to the plot. She's, there. She's not just a romantic element in the film. And that's huge. So it's really, really amazing to see this happen.
Who is your role model when it comes to action? Role model as in your favorite actress doing action?
My role model when it comes to acting?
Action.
To action. Oh my God. So I have an elder brother, and I have all my school boys, my boy gang from school. They would force me into watching action films when we were younger. It wasn't my favorite genre. Okay. And I would see them ogle over Scarlett Johansson and Jennifer Lawrence, and Lara Croft. And when I used to see those women, I would be like, how is this even real or possible? You know, they look stunning, they kick ass, they're powerful. So it's been them. And when I was building and working on Kavya's character, I tried to see which women in Hindi cinema have done this before. And unfortunately, the reference points are fewer because fewer women have done full-fledged action parts. But of course, Katrina has really been a torchbearer when it comes to that. So in our industry, it would be her.
Before you leave, I just need to ask you this final question on Dhak Dhak, because it Dhak Dhak ऐसी अभी कर रहा है before the film release. I just want to know the details, a little bit about your character. How much have you finished shooting, and when can we see it on the screen?
So we have been on the road now for many, many weeks. I don't remember when I was home last. We started in Delhi and UP and did all of Manali and Himachal Pradesh, and I've landed up now in Leh. I'm literally on the Srinagar, Kashmir, the highway right now. And we finished a lot of the film. We are only shooting in real locations. I'm riding a 250 kilo Enfield in our beautiful Himalayas. I mean, I can't believe my eyes. I need 10 minutes every day to cry because I can't believe that this is happening.
Right.
And we're having a blast. I mean, all of us, Dia, Fatima, Ratna ma'am, and us, I mean, we're a crazy, chaotic gang of girls. We're driving our director nuts because we're all so high on energy and all have so much to say. And Tapsi is leading the pack. She's a co-producer on this one. So the female energy is thronging on set.
Wow.
And I'm going to just finish up here for the next like 8-10 days and hopefully get to promote Om at least for 5-6 days and then get back to Dhak Dhak. So, yeah.
All right. Apart from Dhak Dhak, what else do you have?
So, I think last time we spoke, I couldn't speak about Dhak Dhak.
Yes.
And now I can't speak about what's next. So, it's one of those.
Okay.
But hopefully you'll be as excited when I tell you about that one also.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you so much. But before you go, I really had to tell you this, that I wish that I was part of this gang that you're shooting with right now. The girl gang. It would have been really, really fun. But
right?
I'm sure you're enjoying.
Come na, just come do interviews with us.
I would love to tell your team when I'm coming.
I'll tell my producers to call you.
Superb. Well, thank you so much, Sanjana. I'm really looking forward to Om and Dhak Dhak and wishing you all the very best.
Thank you so much. And see you in person.
Yes.
Very soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.